the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us.
They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Drive-In Speaker Box podcast. It is Monday night, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. We're recording live on March 16th, 2026. I'm your host, Bo, the Boom Operator.
I'm Slick Doggy the Grip. I'm just
Lost in the
shocked
comments.
by the comments we opened the screen to.
So, for those of you that are just now tuning in, this is a live recorded show. We take the live recording, we upload it into the podcast that maybe you have downloaded or some AI bot has downloaded. All our downloads really skyrocketed this past month, and I don't know if like Claude is a subscriber now or ChatGPT or whatever. But if you're just now joining us, whatever, if you are human or one of our future AI overlords, welcome. If you want to tune in live and get into the chat, which we will be referencing throughout the show, you can check it out wherever it is you enjoy chatting from. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Twitch. Actually, I think Facebook comments are sometimes a little iffy because of the software that we use, but we really like Twitch. Twitch is really great, and we do a pre-show every week as well. You can get in there about 30 minutes early, and we just talk to you directly, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, we're going to be talking to you about movies. It's St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, so I've got my little bottle of Teeling small batch Irish whiskey, rum cask finish. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy out, and I'll be sipping on this one this St. Patty's Day Eve. You got any St. Patrick's Day plans?
I sure don't. No, not that I know of at all.
Well, maybe go to the movie. I did. I went and saw 2 movies this weekend.
I know. Yeah, no, you did. You invited me to one. I wasn't able to get there in time.
Well, the first movie that I saw,
It was about green things.
yes, it's very St. Patrick's Day coded. It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 2: Secret of the Ooze, 35th anniversary. So later in the show, I'm going to tell you.
Need to hear that part.
Well, welcome to 2026, my friend. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it because I do have some. It was really interesting seeing that movie in theaters again after a very long time. So we'll be talking about that later in the show. And I also went and saw Undertone, the new A24 horror film that I know my boy here ain't going to go see.
That's right.
He ain't going to go see it. So I'll be talking to you guys about that here in about 28 minutes.
That was about the only new movie we got in the entire area.
Yes, it was. There was a lot of re-releases this week. Kiki's Delivery Service got in 250 theaters nationwide.
I didn't see that in one of ours, though.
It wasn't here in Northwest Arkansas.
I would have went to Kiki's.
Well, a lot of people did. I think it hit like number 7 on the box office, and it was only in 250 theaters nationwide. Coming in the chat comments, Movie Albert on Twitch says, "Did you guys watch the Oscars?" We were actually talking about that in the pre-show. We usually don't watch the Oscars. We're not big award show kind of guys. Like the way that we've always kind of enjoyed reviewing movies is just telling you what we think and not really putting a rating schedule or 4 out of 5 stars or did it win a Golden Globe? Did it win an Academy Award? It's just like movies hit different depending on your life experience.
Yeah, and years past, as it has become more and more clear that the Oscars are less a award of merit and more a award of politics. It's just one of those things that makes it so tough to be into the idea of it. It's like something like Return of the King getting every Oscar possible. Yeah, that makes sense. There was a lot of merit there, but when it starts being best casting or whatever we were talking about earlier, and some of these movies that have no real audience value to it, the award shows are just tough to really get behind and enjoy watching.
I did really watch Chris Rock getting smacked by Will Smith that one time. That was some pretty good Oscars. But for the most part, you know, we talked about that in the pre-show a little bit, and you know, a lot of those awards were pretty predictable. As somebody in the comments said, they felt like this was one of the most predictable Oscars yet, and I tend to agree. There was some good movies, obviously. One Battle After Another won a whole bunch of awards, deservedly so. I think that was a great movie. Hot take from me. Sinners also won a ton of awards, and while I really enjoyed Sinners, and I do think that Michael B. Jordan deserved the one that he got, all the other ones I felt were a little bit heavy-handed. I mean, it was a competent, very good vampire movie, kind of a retelling of From Dusk Till Dawn. I don't think that it needed that many awards. It was a fantastic movie, but I feel like and to your point, Movie Albert, he said I wanted Sinners to win Best Picture. I think because they didn't give it Best Picture, they're like, let's just pile on other Oscars for it.
What'd Coogler get his for? Director or?
I think so. Yeah. No. Director was went back to Paul Thomas Anderson. So yeah, it won a bunch. It got editing, and it got cinematography, and it got original screenplay. It cleaned house.
Yeah. If F1 won Best Picture, I wouldn't be upset about that. F1 was a really good movie.
It predictably did win Best Sound Design. Because like
they recorded it all in the cars. The whole making of F1 was a pretty good movie.
For what it was. You know, and the sound design, obviously, like, I mean, if you looked at the categories, you can kind of like shake it up. You can go, okay, best sound. Your nominees are F1, all these cars, all this stuff, all this action, like whatever. Frankenstein, which was a good movie, but the only like really crazy sound design was like the one scene, right? And the rest was just the period piece. One Battle After the Other, sound design, they're just driving cars around. Like, and you know, walking around, okay, whatever. Sinners, okay, it's quiet. They're in a house, and, you know, there's not a lot of sound design. I mean, there is sound design, but it's not like crazy complicated stuff here. So you can kind of be like, yeah, F1's going to get that one. Usually if it's like, a Jurassic Park or something that's got like a lot of crazy like sound design into it, then it's always an easy pick. But anyway, the Oscars, Best Visual Effects, you guessed it, Avatar. Like, I mean, whoa.
That's what that movie's made for.
It's what it's for. Yeah, I mean, anyway, Oscars were out there. We have acknowledged them. News. There was some news.
Yeah.
You go first with news.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna drink more of this Teeling's Irish whiskey.
Yeah, talking about just Oscar-worthy movies. Anaconda, you can watch at home here starting on the 25th. So while it's available to pay and rent, I think on like Prime and things right now, if you give it a week and a half, you'll be able to watch that one at home. I think it's on Disney. No, Netflix. It'll be on Netflix on the 25th. But hey, since I brought up Disney, Disney is now going to have vertical short form videos starting this week. So you can have YouTube short / TikTok / Meta stories, or what are they, Reels. So Disney Plus as a subscription at home on TV, a subscription service for television and movies, will now have short form vertical videos for everyone that watches on their phones.
So, okay, that brings up something that I think about probably more than I need to. Where there is demand, where we meet demand, right? And when someone says, well, you know, we'll make a lot more money because that's what young people want to see is short form stuff. So we're going to make more short form stuff because that's the way they want to do it. Sometimes it doesn't matter what you fucking want because like you're ruining shit by doing it the way that you want, right? And sometimes if we just don't give them the option, they are forced to do it the right way. And I think this comes from a lot of, you know, Gen Xers and to millennials that are having kids that they just let their kids do whatever with no sort of like guidance or parenting or teaching you how to do a thing the right fucking way. And we're like, nah, just go ahead and keep doing it the way that you want to do it, you child that apparently knows everything fresh out the fucking womb. We need to stop making short form garbage because it's destroying our brain. And it's making it hard for anybody to have an attention span more than 160 seconds. And the more that we do it, because it's drugs, they have literally proven that this shit is drugs.
They're paying more for it now than anything else. So,
and they know it's drugs. They know it has addictive properties. And they're like, oh, well, you know, we don't let kids smoke cigarettes. We don't let kids drink alcohol. We don't let kids drive motor vehicles until they're 16. But you know what? We'll put this poison in front of their face when they're babies and let them continue to do it because, you know, that's the way they want to do it. I have very strong feelings about this, if you guys haven't noticed.
Y'all ever seen Wall-E?
Dude, and, you know, it's like we're not... It is our responsibility as stewards of progeny to be able to be like orators of old that said, this is how we tell stories. This is how we pass on knowledge. This is how we read books. This is how we communicate. This is how we share ideas. Not like, oh, Oog only likes drawing stick figure in sand. Well, I don't want to read book. I like stick figure. And they go, well, if that's the way Oog wants to do it, we'll convert all of the world's knowledge into stick figure. And like that's what we're doing. And it oh man, I don't have enough booze.
Hey, well,
who brought that up? Who brought up the vertical videos?
Me talking about the news.
Okay. Damn it, Jake.
Disney's doing it. Hey, talking about things, since I brought up Lord of the Rings earlier, it was recently announced that Kate Winslet is joining the Lord of the Rings Hunt for Gollum movie as the female lead, which makes me worry. Only because if she's not going to take the spot of Kate Winslet to be Galadriel, then I wonder who she is supposed to be, because the Hunt for Gollum is supposed to be the time where Aragorn and Gandalf hunt for Gollum to find him.
Is that where they get the name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Aragorn and Gandalf, between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, were on a mission together to find Gollum, because they know that he's out and about, and so Gandalf recruits Aragorn to find him and everything, and they search all over Middle-earth. Eventually, Aragorn finds him, brings him, and they interrogate him to find out what he knows, because Gandalf suspects that the Ring of Power is in the hands of Frodo or Bilbo or whichever one at the time. And so they're trying to figure all this stuff out. And that is the hunt for Gollum, is that they find him, and then Aragorn has him prisoner and tracks him halfway across Middle-earth. And I think they take him to the Legolas's people, the Sylvan elves, the wood elves, and they have him interrogated and stuff there. So unless she's supposed to be like Legolas's mom or Galadriel, then if she's one of those made for the movie only characters that Peter Jackson has decided to start doing with the Hobbit movies, I don't want it. Don't do that. Stop doing that. It didn't work. No one likes the Hobbit. Not one person likes anything about the Hobbit movies.
They took the best book and made it the worst movie.
Because they're bad.
Because they tried to make it 3 movies, and it should have been 1. Because
Yeah.
they already made a pretty decent Hobbit movie, and it was animated.
Yeah, the animated one's so good. But so what they did was that it was supposed to be 2 movies, and then the studio forced it into stretching to 3. Jackson came in to take over for what's his name? Del Toro? Not Del Toro.
The other guy.
The guy that did Pacific Rim.
Guillermo del Toro.
Del Toro, yeah, nailed it. And then they stretched it to 3 movies, and he created characters that didn't need to exist, like the son of Azog, or the son of Azog's son, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Those characters were dead before the events of The Hobbit took place. The girl elf that teamed up with Legolas being in The Hobbit for some dumb reason.
Yeah, Legolas wasn't in The Hobbit.
Yeah, so many things they just did not need to have. But so hopefully that is not what happens in The Hunt for Gollum. But every time we get a little bit of news, you're like, hey, it might be good. And then you're like, oh, wait, it might be really, really bad.
On Twitch, Merle asks, is Search for Gollum a book?
I don't think it is a book. I think it's spread over. You get the info through like appendices.
Yeah, that's what
and
I thought.
Tolkien's like history of Middle Earth books, where he just like it's all his writings where they just fill in a bunch of gaps and stuff like that.
Yeah,
He's
that's
like,
fine.
well, at this time, old dude was doing this, and that's what was happening and everything there. Because Tolkien did a lot of writings, and they were kind of scattered over. And actually, in the last 2 years, we got a new one from letters that he had sent because. Tolkien was constantly sending letters to the people, his editors for Lord of the Rings, and some of the best ideas for Lord of the Rings came from those editors, actually. They're like, hey, you did this, but what if we kind of did that? And Tolkien's like, oh, yeah, I'll make that work
Sounds
with
good.
the lore. And so it was a lot of writing back and forth, and there's lore hidden in those and stuff, and they published all that as a book. So Lord of the Rings is like 60 different books with all the compilations of stuff like that. So not a standalone, but rather storyline found within the appendices. Bam, nailed it.
So speaking of animated stuff, though, did you hear about this? Nathan Fillion announced on the social medias this week that Firefly is returning in animated format.
Potentially, he's asking for. It's like a GoFundMe thing.
Well, he said he's got everything in place. He's got the blessings of Joss, and he's got the cast reassembled. He's got, licensing's cleared. He's got all the stuff on deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was just like one or two other things that they're trying to get through. But it seems like it's. I mean, at this point, it seems like it has to be a go because there's enough internet momentum that any studio is going to go. Well, the momentum's here, so why do we do it? Why don't we do it?
Well, and they have their podcast, the Once We Were Spacemen or We Were Spacemen Once or whatever it is. So I think that's new and that's finding success. And Nathan Fillion's always a popular actor with everything that he does.
Well, and you got Alan Tudyk in there, like who is a juggernaut right now.
Yeah, he's the other member of the Spaceman podcast.
And of all the people like that of that original cast that would probably have, I don't really want to do it. It'd be him, but he's like, I'm down, So I don't know. So, a couple of people in the comments said, I've still not watched Firefly. Is it worth it? Man, that's tough because Firefly is one of those things that I think kind of existed in a bubble. It's a really fun show to watch. It was also pre all the grody Joss Whedon becoming a brand and then also revealing that he was a huge piece of crap.
Joss Whedon sucks.
Yes.
If for no other reason than what he did to X-Men comic books.
But this was at the beginning before Joss became this sort of monster machine of ruining things.
I forgot Marvel too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that if it depends on who the writer is, that because I do not think they said they have a script, but it was not penned by Joss.
Good. Just have him say, "Yeah, that sounds good to me," and then be like, "All right, stay the hell away from it."
Yeah, back off, buddy. I don't know. But Night Owlishly on Twitch asks, animated like Lower Decks animated, animated like Avatar. I always get confused when people say that. Probably Lower Decks animated.
I think somewhere in between.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be full-blown CGI, motion cap, nothing like that. I would prefer to see something along the lines of the studio that does like the Mighty Nine for Critical Role. And they do some of the stuff. It's that style of like Castlevania, and it's like
80% anime.
Yeah. I like that style. I think it's a good American adaptation of Japanese styling, and kind of creating a different visual genre, because it visually it hits a cue to let people know that this is a little more adult than normal cartoons, but it's also gives you enough visual cues that it's not like anime, which is a whole different genre of animation, as we've all discussed in length here on the show.
Like a Venture Bros.
Yeah, like Venture Brothers.
Yeah. Well, hey, so one of our viewers here said that Hulu is not moving forward with a Buffy reboot. I also got some Hulu news here.
Oh, drop it on us.
Did you see the trailer for Pizza Movie?
No, I missed this one.
So it has
Pizza movie.
Yeah, it has Gatton Matarazzo. I'm sorry, I'm hitting names like you now. It has him, the kid from Stranger Things. It has the kid from Goldberg, the Goldbergs, and then a few others. And it has Daniel Radcliffe as a CGI butterfly. But so it's these two nerd kids that are still getting bullied in college, and they find in their room a Altoids case full of this new designer drug. And the one kid talks the other into them doing the drug, and then they watch a video on how their trip is going to go. And it's like, yeah, this is this, and you're going to have the best trip of your life. And they stop the video there. And then when they start freaking out, they watch the rest of the video. It's like, yeah, but only if you eat pizza. If you don't eat pizza, your brain will explode out of your butthole and you will die. And then they have this crazy trip. And the whole thing is they have to get from their dorm room downstairs to receive their pizza delivery to eat the pizza before they die. And it looks
so it's a little bit Harold and Kumar, Pineapple Express-y kind of.
There's also like horror gore.
Okay.
And like people are like being poltergeisted off the ground and having chainsaws shoved into their rectums. And
of course,
there's heads exploding and all this.
After all the cheese that I ate today, I might need a chainsaw.
Yeah,
in
it
my rectum
actually
as well.
looks like it could be a fun movie.
Well, and it is a Hulu original movie. So,
yeah, which is crazy to hear that they're still releasing like Hulu movies, even though Hulu's like
is
not
Disney Plus
a thing. Yeah, but the trailer for that's definitely worth watching. It looks like it could be fun. Merle says sounds familiar. It really does. It sounds like 30 minutes or less. It sounds like Harold and Kumar. It sounds like Pineapple Express.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like
What was that one? The movie about the Project X, where it was like a crazy party gone wrong.
Not quite Project X, but a lot like the movie that had 21 and older, 21 and up, whatever that movie was.
Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah, exactly, kind of a thing. But the one where the kid turns 21 and his friends take him and get him messed up. Yeah, something like that.
Merle on the Twitch with a great comment says, here for it as long as it's 90 minutes.
It seems like it will be.
I'm here for a 90-minute runtime.
But college comedy drug movie, it's hard to go wrong. And
with a Stranger Things kid, the one that everybody likes.
Several talented kids, and Daniel Radcliffe as a CGI butterfly. And when they, in the trailer where they go, and Daniel Radcliffe as the butterfly, there's no line spoken with his voice or anything. So it's kind of like a South Park thing.
Or Vin Diesel, where he just like goes, meh.
Yeah.
And then it's like, Vin Diesel
George Clooney as the dog in like South Park and stuff. There was another bit of Hulu news that I saw, and where did it go?
If you don't have any, we got to start talking about what's coming out in theaters.
Oh my gosh, we're there already. All right, I'll run through the news real quick.
Yeah.
There was also a new Netflix movie called Thrash. It's about sharks that enter a flooded town and start eating people.
Metal.
It's just like that alligator movie where the alligators go into a flooded town and start eating people.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like Sharknado because there's a Category 5 hurricane coming in, and a meat truck hits a telephone pole, splits open, and it pushes blood to the ocean. And so all the sharks come in for the meat truck blood.
Big chum.
It's Sharknado plus that alligator movie. Looks super goofy. Demon Hunters, K-pop, officially getting a sequel. We knew that was going to happen. That's not big news. Speaking of Netflix sequels, the Chris Hemsworth movies, the Extraction films, there's a spin-off movie. It just finished filming. It's called Tygo. So that's a thing. Amazon is going up another $2 for all of us that pay to not have commercials. They forgot to tell us that.
Thanks.
So it's going from an extra $3 to an extra $5. And now they're rebranding it as Amazon Prime Video Premium Plus Ultra something or another.
Yeah.
So
PPUPP Plus.
Nailed it. Speaking of streaming services, Paramount announced that they're
We just called it PU, Premium Ultra.
Yeah, PU, exactly. Paramount is phasing out another streaming service. In addition to HBO Max, they're also going to phase out BET Plus.
What?
Tyler Perry just made a lot of money. They bought out his stake in it, which was like a 25%
Tyler Perry
holding, and so
you knew he was going to make off like a bandit on that one.
Exorcist is underway, reboot.
Oh, yay. All right, another one.
And then Paramount also said that they are not moving forward with the G.I. Joe movies that have been planned. So Hasbro and Paramount have both been like...
The G.I. Joe Transformers crossover we've been waiting for this whole time that they've been teasing. We're not... You're telling me we're going to just get He-Man instead?
Yeah. Yeah, the meta He-Man that's making all the same mistakes as the last He-Man because there's no reason to have Earth as a world in it when everything can just exist in Eternia.
We are familiar enough with Masters of the Universe that we know that Eternia is a place. We can go there. We can go there. We don't have to go to Earth.
You don't need to give it the dumbass treatment. It's just a bad idea. Dina says if Daniel Radcliffe's doing it, you know it's dumb and fun. Exactly. There you go. That's the news.
Okay, well, let's talk about what's coming out in theaters this weekend, because this weekend is March 20th, 2026, and we do have 3 new movies that are coming out in theaters semi-nationwide. You'll be able to check them out. There is one for the old family that's I haven't seen a whole lot of trailers for, which is surprising because I'm in the movie theater every week, but it is a new animated film with Nick Offerman and Amy Sedaris.
I saw Amy Sedaris.
Yeah, and it's called The Pout Pout Fish, and kind of looks like a off-brand, what was it, Shark's Tale or Finding Nemo, like in that era where everything was, instead of talking animals doing people things, we decided to have talking fish doing people things. But in this one, it's 2 aquatic misfits embarking on an impossible journey to save their home. And,
So Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo, yeah. I mean, I like Nick Offerman. I just, listening to his voice, it just feels right. So that has its merits. And then Miranda Otto, she's cool. Amy Sedaris is cool. And then there's other people. So
will she be like a fish that's not really a fish? She'll be like a ray or an eel or something like that. And she'll do the whole Eowyn thing. And she's like, I am no fish. And then
just look into the pool. Anyway, Pout Pout Fish coming out in theaters this week. Also coming out in theaters, the most unnecessary sequel, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. They probably could have kept the 2 out of that because we would have understood, because the first movie was called Ready or Not. This just seems like it was already implied. But it is after, it's about Grace, who survived the first deadly game of a family that she married, and they have a tradition where they have to hunt her down, and if she survives, then she can wed their son or whatever. And since she survived, well, there's 5 more families for whatever fucking reason, and to add more to it, they went ahead and kidnapped her sister, and so there's 2 girls and 5 families because sequels. And it's the most nonsensical reassembling of a storyline that I've ever seen. Samara Weaving reprising her role as Grace. It does have Elijah Wood in it and Sarah Michelle Gellar in it, which is fun and has its merits. It has a pretty, I mean, Nestor Carbonell, I really like him. Batman. I was about to say, he stole my heart as Batmanuel, and also in Lost. Kevin Durand is always in it, playing the guy that always looks like Kevin Durand, who's a bad guy. Like, that guy always is just like, I'm bad. He just looks like bad guy in general. They go, we need a bad guy, and he doesn't need to be a main character. They go, oh, Kevin Durand all day long.
I was just thinking about how I had a big gripe earlier about Peter Jackson making characters for movies that don't exist in the source material just to make them for the movie, and they suck.
Well, here's the movie.
If you're going to make a character for something and they didn't exist in the source material, Batmanuel is the right way to do it. Batmanuel is so good and on brand with everything tick.
Because he's not Deflator Mouse, because you couldn't get the license for that. It's Batmanuel. Anyway, this movie, there is another movie that's coming out relatively soon around the same time that actually looks like a more fun version of the Final Girl survival horror trope, which is They Will Kill You or Kill You All, or I think it's They Will Kill You, where she's trapped in a hotel, in a building they're trying to sacrifice her for the devil or something, and it looks way more fun than Ready or Not 2, although I enjoyed Ready or Not. My problem is, this is an unnecessary sequel. and this is every example of why I get pretty exhausted with sequels in Hollywood, because they're just like, oh yeah, everybody let's just do the same thing but with more. Same premise, same thing. Maybe she has a fucking sister. I don't know. Well, we can't just do one family because now we got two sisters. Let's have like 4 families that are also in on the same weird retelling of The Deadliest Game. Anyway, Ready or Not 2 coming out in theaters this week. And the one that I think everyone will probably see, or should see anyway, is Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling. It is directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Written by Drew Goddard and Andy Weir, based on the novel that the guy he wrote The Martian as well, which also turned into a really amazing film. This book is phenomenal. It's fantastic. I am worried that a lot of the MacGuffins of the book that made the book so like twisty and turny and made you like sob by the end of it, I feel like maybe has been given away in the trailer.
People griped about that from day one on the trailer because they gave away the whole shock thing about it.
Yeah, but I mean, aside,
the aliens.
I still think that the book is so good. And Vince over on Twitch just threw a comment that says, I heard the movie did a great job nailing the book. And if that's the case, then this should be a great movie.
I mean, if it's like The Martian, because everyone said that The Martian was just like the book, and The Martian's a great movie.
Yeah, that movie made me read the book, and it's fantastic. Ryan Gosling, I really like Ryan Gosling. I think if anybody's gonna
Young Hercules.
Yeah, dude. I think that he can carry. It takes a very talented person to carry a movie like this, because it's basically going to be him in a spaceship most of the time, kind of like The Martian was. I mean, Matt Damon is Matt. It's Matt Damon. Damon. But I'm excited about this one, Project Hail Mary, coming out in theaters this week. You can check it out. You can get your tickets now. Okay, well, that's what's coming out in theaters this week. Ryan Gosling. Okay, Vince says on Twitch, Ryan Gosling is a generic Glenn Powell. No, he is not. Glenn Powell was not in Are You Afraid of the Dark? He was not in The Musketeers. He was not in. No, let's. You get it. You get out. You get them words out of your mouth.
Hey, it looks like we're also getting Durandar, The Revenge. So Durandar was a massive, massive movie, and now we're getting Durandar, The Revenge.
The Revenge. We may get it. It might not get national release, but it is coming out.
I'm not gonna watch that. I didn't like the first Durandar. I talked to y'all about it. It was weird.
All right. Well, with that said, we need to talk TMNT. Secret of the Use.
Nums?
Secret of the Use, guys. Okay. It was the 35th anniversary. It was 1991 when this movie came out. It was the peak of Turtle Fever. TMNT2 caught everyone by surprise, took the world by storm, lives on as a fantastic, probably arguably the best telling of the Turtle story is the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. This movie comes in with bigger budgets, bigger cameos, a different April O'Neil, a different Donatello, but it had a lot of heart, and it had a lot of, fun, goof, and gag. It had a really cool subway lair. It had Super Shredder. It had Ernie Reyes Jr. It had it had a lot of things that went well for it, except revisiting it as an adult did not hit the same as revisiting the original. And
the ending is Rush and sucks because Super Shredder is
played by Kevin Nash.
Yeah, big sexy, and he beats himself. The turtles don't have to do a single thing of.
And he just
beats himself.
Beats him out, and they pop out of the water, and they go, "I love being a turtle."
Toka and Raja are cool.
They're
the underground layer's cool. The Doctor's lame.
He should have been Baxter Stockman.
Ernie Reyes Jr. is awesome.
I will say that the new April, not so great. But my issue with this is the contrast between the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which Eastman and Laird, they were like, we want it to be dark, we want it to be a little gritty, we want it to be, it's still a kid's movie, but it's happening in New York, it's about gangs of thieves, and it had this sort of mysterious invisibility to it that was still trying to do ninja. There was stakes, Raphael almost died, Splinter almost died. There was the kid who was estranged from his dad. There was romance between Casey and April. There was regular or menthol. There was the whole gamut of like things that make you love that movie. This movie didn't have any of that, but you'd already fallen in love with these characters, and it was one of those things. It's fun to watch, but the jokes, it was just, well, we didn't have a serious story to tell, so we're going to do more pizza jokes. We're going to do more, creature feature. We're going to do more dancing. We're not going to be hidden at all.
And they're going to hit that.
Yeah.
Like way more times.
Yeah. And so, yes, Merle on Twitch says, as an adult now, the OG was so real, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle was 2 was more service. And I'll agree with that. Did I still enjoy it? Yes. I mean, it scratched an itch. It was like, it was for kids. It felt more for kids. And
2 is a more fun movie.
And TMNT felt like more approachable by anybody wanting to watch it. Vince asked, were there other people in the theaters pumping their fists and screaming, yeah? No, there was, well, actually, okay, there was a guy behind me who brought his 2 kids, and he kept going like, oh, well, I think there was like one scene where, I don't know, like maybe Ernie Reyes Jr. said, oh, that's gay or something, and and like the dad was like, oh, it was a very different time back there, kids.
It was 35 years ago. You
I was like, oh, things are a little different now, and
I think he says homo.
Something like that. Yeah. There was something that he said, and oh no, there was like 2 things. He said something about homo, and then right at the beginning, he's like getting on his bike and he's flirting with these girls. He's like, which one of you guys want to take the ride with me tonight? And she's like, oh, get real, blah blah blah. And then he basically called her fat. He was like, oh, next time I'll pick someone who's thinner. And then he speeds off, and it's like, okay, yeah, some of that humor. Kids in the 90s were bullies. That was the thing. It made us stronger or need more therapy. I don't know. You pick one. But anyway, this movie didn't hit the same way as I wanted it to, and I hoped that it would. I'm glad I saw it. It was a lot of fun. I think that the technology in their faces was a little bit more enhanced. That each turtle had a little bit more of a unique look than they did in the first one. The first one, each turtle definitely had its own personality, but they all kind of looked similar. But in this one, they very much, their heads were shaped a little bit differently. Their heights were different. They had a little bit more personality, and they leaned in a little bit more to some of those personalities that we all got familiar with in the comics and the cartoons. But at the beginning, this is the last thing I wanted to mention that Merle just mentioned on Twitch. Thank you, Merle. That there was a mini doc at the front with one of the creators of Eastman, I believe, and he was just doing a sketch of Michelangelo as Ronin, right? And he's sketching it out while he's talking about Ninja Turtles 2 and creating the turtles and all this kind of stuff. But then interspersed through all this, they did a little live action short of Ronin, and so it was Michelangelo like putting on the hood, meditating, and then there was the weapons, and
live
then
action.
Yeah, it was live action, and he had one of the style like turtle suits, and he was hooded up, and then one of the, if you're familiar with the Ronin story, all the not the foot, but whatever the ninjas are that have the little the glasses and the swords. Well, there's a busy city street, and then he comes up there, and there's just a big fight scene, and he's just like kicking all these ninjas' asses, and it's like real martial arts, and he's in a real turtle costume, and it was kind of sick.
Who made that? Was it like Bat in the Sun did it or something for him?
I don't know. There was a lot of credits at the end of that little mini doc, but I was like, oh my gosh! I mean, that's
now that they're
proof
not. They're not doing the series. They're like, oh.
Here's a little mini doc. But it was really cool to see, and I'm hoping that because this movie, it hit the top 10 this week in the box office, and I hope that maybe with this hitting in the top 10, And maybe that'll show studios that, you know, turtles still have some staying power, and maybe it'll show them that, like, they're all so afraid of throwing an R rating on the turtles. Like, all the suits and ties that don't understand things but make money off of it, they're afraid of throwing an R rating on the turtles, and it needs it. And if I think Turtle Mania would come back if you threw Ronin in theater and you did a good adaptation of that. I think it would bring Turtle Mania back. So anyway, Ninja Turtles Secret Reviews in theaters. You can check it out. The other movie that I saw was a new movie. It was a horror movie, an A24 scary movie, billed as the scariest movie you'll ever hear. It's called Undertone, and
That just reminded me about something. That Thrash movie for Netflix, throughout the entire trailer, has a horror movie rendition of Baby Shark playing in the background.
what?
Yeah. So. Yep.
So Vince on Twitch brought up long legs. I fell asleep in long legs. Everybody was like, "This is the scariest thing that will ever scare you. Get ready. Your butt will prolapse in your seat." And you know,
Nicolas Cage, the creepiest dude ever.
And I fell asleep in Act 2. I thought Long Legs was really boring. I thought Nicolas Cage was a lot of fun. I thought that movie was extremely predictable, extremely boring, and paced poorly, and in 3 dumb vignette or acts, if you want to even call them vignettes. Undertone was good.
Really?
It was good.
You were kind of pooping on it last week.
I
talking
was
about it.
pooping on it because the trailer looked like poop. The concept looked like poop. Everything about it looked like poop. But my God, whoever this Ian Tucson is, I need to find him because this is like his directorial debut. This guy is going to be one to watch. This was a great horror movie. This movie reminded me of everything that I liked about Skinamarink, but cut out all the parts that I didn't want about Skinamarink, which Skinamarink arguably is a very disturbing film. It was a short film that turned into a feature length. I think that they could have kind of met in the middle. The Skinamarink was way too long. But the thing that impressed me about this movie is, number one, it was a one-person act. It was Nina Kiri, who we are going to see a lot from her. She was the only actress on screen 99% of the time. There was her mother, who was upstairs and elderly, and it was just this old lady played by Michelle Duquet. And this was her entire... She was just a dead mom, and a mom on her deathbed. So no speaking lines, no nothing. But Nina Kiri was the only physical actress in this whole thing. Everything else was voices of people on phones or podcasts or voice calls. So it's always impressive to me when I see an actress that can carry a whole hour and a half, basically just the them show. That takes a lot of talent. She did it. Number two. This movie did a very, very, very good job being like shot in a way that keeps you unsettled the whole time without relying on jump scares. It like acknowledges that we've all been programmed through horror movie tropes. And so through its framing and coloring, it like, if you're familiar with cameras or anything, the rule of thirds is... it's a thing. It's how you divide a frame, blah, 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 blah. So much of this movie, you're being asked to draw your attention to the left or the right third of the frame, and it leaves this huge expanse of stuff on the left or the right side of your actor or your actress in this case, and you're like, something's going to happen. And so you start studying the dark shadows, you start studying the other parts of the house, and nothing ever happens, by the way. But there'll be really weird subtle things. Like there was the first time I caught it, there was a shadow, there was a lamp, and you could have blinked and missed it, but like the shadow just went boing, like that. It was just one of those things that you start questioning as an audience member, did I see that? Because, in a lot of horror movies, it'll like, a shadow will move and it'll go, whoa, and it'll show you like, oh my God, there was a shadow. This is just it goes, maybe you didn't see it. Maybe this didn't happen. And it did that for a good hour and 10 minutes. And then the last 20 minutes, they're like, start it up, pedal to the metal, let's go. And they just like take you to the finish line, and you're just like, whoa. And it's so good. So what this movie is about, structure aside, this was a very well put together, audio wise, because I'm an audio nut. The way that they did the audio design in this was brilliant to build suspense.
And with that tagline, they better.
Exactly. And that's why I was very skeptical of it, because I'm a big audio guy. There was a couple of things that made me kind of go a little bit, but that's only because I'm an audio guy. But it's about this host of a podcast. Her best friend lives in London, so that set up the reason why she had to be awake at like near 3 a.m. to have this call, regularly with this guy. They have a supernatural podcast. They get these a random email from an untraceable email address that has 10 MP3 files in it, and they start listening to them. And the whole movie is just progressively going through these audio files, and it starts to uncover the story of this ghostly demon deity that kills babies, and and like as offerings to this weird thing. And it's super weird, and I don't want to give it away, because that's a part of the fun, just like waiting and watching for these things to happen. And you're stuck in headphones, and the way that it goes. So, like, this is the kind of I'll give you an example of something that sounds the way that this movie sounds. It's like a lot of this movie, she sounds like me right now because she's talking into a podcast mic to her friend. But then, you take the headphones off, and all of a sudden things kind of go like this, and you're switching back and forth between like headphone world and like real world, and it does little things like that because so much of us live in headphones these days. And like when you put your headphones on, it's not silent. They're, like when you have the noise canceling, it has a feeling to it, that's not quiet. It's just blocks out noise. So it uses that. Anyway, I was impressed. I thought it was good. So, yeah, good stuff. Let me check out the comments here. Dina says, yeah, I love that. There's a horror movie from 2020 called Host, and I'm still finding stuff in the background. I mean, that's one of those movies that when a movie can do that to you without just slamming it in your face, that leaves you unsettled. Bravo. And I would say Skinamarink would be recommended watching in this case, but only watch the short film. And this movie definitely borrowed from a lot of very competent horror movies that have come before it, and did something that while wasn't new, I thought was extremely well handled, and turned something, because I'm a really tough nut to crack when it comes to horror movies that give me like the heebie-jeebies, and I'm like, I'm going to go home and watch Netflix One Piece, because this is going to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen and will help me not be creeped out. So Undertone is in theaters. It's not doing as well as I thought it was going to do right off the bat, although it is also not the kind of movie that people that run out to the theaters to see horror movies are probably going to like. This is just an unsettling movie. There's not a whole lot that happens for a good solid hour. But unlike some other movies that are boring for the first solid hour, this one held my attention and then pedaled to the metal at the end.
Yeah. It's not just dumb slasher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Undertone in theaters right now. If you're into horror, I recommend this one. I think that it was good. So it's out there. It's in the top 10, but not opening at number 1. But speaking of that, we're going to turn things over to Jake. He's going to give you the box office roundup for this last weekend, March 13th through 15th, 2026. Going to give you the top 10 movies in America. We'll throw some domestic numbers or worldwide numbers in there for those that it needs. But take it away, Jake.
Yeah, top 10, starting with number 10 here. Crime 101, still hanging in there somehow.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, 5th week out from Amazon, yet it's still not on Prime, which is crazy. I thought it would have been on Prime 3 weeks ago. 1.1 million brought in by that one, bringing it up to $35.5 million. Man. And then at number 9, TMNT2 Secret of the Ooze, almost $1.5 million for a 35-year-old movie. Pretty
Pretty
cool.
good.
They didn't even upscale it, huh? It's just presented as is.
Yeah, well, that was probably one of my biggest complaints of that screening. I didn't mind the upscaling, but I don't think they redid the audio for digital theaters either, which that's part of it too. If you're gonna remaster it for theaters, at least do the audio, because the way that audio channels work now in theaters is these Dolby and you know, a lot of these were programmed THX and older, and it wasn't in the same Dolby format that they have now.
Yeah, I don't think it was remastered. It just re-released. And then at number 8, Wuthering Heights, also still hanging in there after 5 weeks. $1.6 million for that one, bringing in it up to $82 million. Dang, another 144.4 elsewhere. So it's right at $250 million. And then at number 7, a movie I really wish we would have gotten here, but it was only in 249 theaters. Kiki's Delivery Service for the Ghibli movies. It opened at $1.68 million.
It's a good ass movie.
That's a good movie. I'm glad that it's that people are going to watch that one.
I wonder if it was the because I mean, both the original English language and the Japanese original language and the English dub are pretty good. They're both pretty decent.
Yeah, Ghibli's one of those that their English versions are never the worst ones. So, and then at number 6, The Bride, second week out, dropped from third spot. I think you talked to us about that.
I did last week. Mm-hmm.
2 million brought in by that one, bringing it up to just over 11 million bucks in the U.S. total. Another 9 million elsewhere, so $20 million for that one.
$90 million budget, I heard on that one.
Ain't never gonna happen. And then at number 5, Goat, also 5th week out, $4.6 million for that one. 90.5 so far here in the U.S. Basketball has international appeal. $72 million elsewhere across the globe, so 162 so far for that one. And then at number 4, Scream 7. It's already been out 3 weeks. Dang. $8.5 million for that one, bringing it up to 106.7. That's where all your slasher fans went still.
Yeah.
Another 70 million elsewhere, bringing it up to 177 million total. And then that math doesn't math. Like 180 million bucks. And then at at number 3, Undertone, the one you just talked to us about, opened at over $9 million, so almost 9.4.
And it has not gotten an international release.
And it's an A24 movie, so good for it. And then also opening at the number 2 spot, Reminders of Him.
This kind of took me by surprise.
18 million bucks.
Yeah, and doing pretty well overseas too.
Another 10, yeah. Yep, 28 million so far, and then keeping the top spot with $28.6 million. Second week out, bringing it up to 87 million in the U.S. Hoppers, another 78 million elsewhere, so it's at 165 million bucks. Not exactly Zootopia 2, but I imagine that it's one of those things that can probably just continue to build steam.
It probably will, because
other family releases.
That fish one's not going to jump on Hoppers. And
I had not even heard about Pow Pow Fish until we talked about it.
Dina on Twitch says Undertone's actually doing pretty good on per theater average, which is true. It did about $3,600 on theater average, which was better than the number 4, the number 5, the number 6, and the number 8 movie, and the number 9 movie. But it was. She also points out that it was made for almost $0. So hell yeah, yeah. The budget on this could have been. I mean, I don't know what it was exactly, but I would have been shocked if it was more than $5 million, because it happened in basically 3 rooms in a house. And I mean that's just like why I loved it so or enjoyed it so much, is because it was great filmmaking. You don't need $150 million budget. To $500,000 is what the reported budget was. Wow.
Dang.
So okay, again, like
That's
I said,
Godzilla -0 type thing going.
that director is going to be one to watch, because he is not. This is his feature length debut, and if he can make a movie that was that engaging for only a half million bucks, like hell yeah.
Vince says that he's not complaining, but it always seems like we're in the middle of Ghibli Fest. It does seem like Ghibli Fest is a lot longer than what it used to, and a lot more spread out than what it used to be. I don't know if is this still like the Ghibli Fest that was going on.
I don't know. It
It
always
does seem like it's nearly year long anymore for sure.
Yeah, it used to only be in the summer, but now it's done its thing. But Vince over on Twitch said A24 acquired the film in a mid 7-figure deal between 3 and 4 million. Heck yeah, man. Good on them. I think we'll see a lot more from that director. So, well, all right, guys. Well, that's our show. I guess we're done. Guess we're gonna get out of here.
Dunzo.
Thanks for tuning in. We will see you guys next week right here on the Drive-In Speaker Box. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever it is you want to follow us. You can get on our Discord. All that stuff is over on our link tree, thedriveinspeakerbox.com. If you want to download this episode of the podcast, wherever it is you download podcasts, just search for the Drive-In Speaker Box podcast. It's pretty simple to do. You can take us on the go, put us in your earphones, play it backwards, and maybe we said some weird messaging. So, how's old have you have it? Yes, have. You'll never know. All right. See you guys later.
Later.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.